Hello and welcome back to another video. It is the 1st of January 2026 and Yoshi P has put out a New Year's greeting that's finally been translated into English. It's on the North American and European lodestones. I'll link that in the description for you to peruse at your leisure. But let's read through this. We've also got a bit of a hint at the future. So it says, Happy New Year to all of you Final Fantasy XIV-ers out there. This is producer and director Naoki Yoshida. We ended last year with a release of 7.4 on December the 16th. Oh my goodness, I remember Chaotic Christmas. That was actually quite a lot of fun, personally. And I hope Warriors of Light, the world over, he says, are enjoying a memorable holiday season, both at home and in Eorzea. The development team has already finished up preparations for the release of the Savage Tier raid, coming out on the 6th of January, so not long, along with a number of other updates. So I'm pleased to say they're all taking a hard-earned rest. Well deserved, I think. That said, it won't be long before April is here. And with it, the next fan festival. There will be plenty to share about what's next for Final Fantasy XIV Online, so it'll be a full steam ahead when we return to the office. This year marks 13 years since the release of A Realm Reborn. My goodness, has it really been 13 years? Crazy. The state of the world and the way we live in it have changed considerably in that time. Even if we tend not to notice the gradual shifts that shape our lives day by day, even having worked primarily with Final Fantasy XIV throughout these years, I cannot help but feel the weight of those changes as I pause to reflect. Final Fantasy XIV has already taken its first step on a new 10-year journey, and this year will mark an especially significant second step. As I said, the world is changing and Final Fantasy XIV must be ready to change alongside it, reflecting the demands of an evolving market, as well as the ways you live and play. Drawing on everything we've learned, we are fully committed to delivering new experiences and fresh surprises in the years ahead. I hope you're looking forward to the next update, as well as everything we have planned for the upcoming fan festivals. And just as I was contemplating my keynote speech, what should I find but this note slid under my office door. So this says, if you're not able to read this for whatever reason, it is a little bit, cursive. It says, Our past astern, we scan the sea, in search of that which yet may be. Frail playthings of the restless tide, yet wind and wave shall be our guide. It says, from the journal of a well-traveled young man. We'll read into that in just a second. Eloquent words, he says, that paint a scene both serene and contemplative, grappling with the restless tides of change. Lessons learned on wind and wave no doubt carry this young author ever forward to exciting new horizons. Words worth aspiring to, I'd say. Interesting. We have a great deal ahead of us, starting with a North American Fan Festival in Anaheim, followed very closely by patch 7.5. Before you know it, we'll be gathering again this summer in Berlin for the European Fan Festival, which I'm super hyped about, and then in October for yet another one here in Japan. On top of that, the Chinese version has caught up to our global release schedule, with a Korean version not far behind, making for an especially busy time for the team. There's much and more I'd love to share with you right now, but I ask that you wait just a little longer until the start of the fan festivals. The development of and operations teams will continue to pour our hearts and souls into crafting new tales of adventure that we may help guide you, Warriors of Light, toward horizons yet unseen. Ere the next chapter in our tale begins, we hope you'll take this season to slow down, rest well. I need a bit of rest, honestly, and enjoy a healthy and happy start of the year. Again, I wish you a happy new year, and thank you for your continued support. And there's some really beautiful artwork there that was illustrated. I'm not sure who made this artwork, but I presume it's the same person who does a lot of the lodestone artwork. We've got Yoshi P eating ramen. We've got the Unicult here for 2026, the Year of the Horse. And we've got Sleipnir behind there as well, with a bombling in the far distance. I mean, this is a very, very telling piece of artwork, actually. This archipelago islands. Do we read into the actual picture? Probably not, but it is quite telling, isn't it? There is definitely some island, Far Eastern stuff going on here, but we'll see. We can, however, read into this quite easily. It is a little bit ambiguous, a little bit vague. Deliberately, there's not much to read into. But first, our past astern we scan the sea. Obviously, past astern would mean, well, astern means behind a ship that we're sailing on. So this is saying that the past is literally behind us. And this is obviously a strong hint of moving on from previous story arcs. Obviously, the Heidelin Zodiac, End of the World arc, with the, the final days, that kind of thing, moving on from that. Scan the sea suggests exploration, not introspection, so this is looking outwards and not backwards. It says, in search of that which yet may be, quote unquote. Classic sort of uncharted future phrasing here. This often signals new continents, cultures, civilizations, not the revisiting of old ones, right? Frail playthings of a restless tide. That is the most loaded line on this entire thing. So frail playthings of a restless tide. This brings to mind, to me, islands, floating lands, or seaborne civilizations, right? Because these are nations that will be vulnerable to climate, currents, or calamity. So this includes aether unstable regions affected by the tides, archipelagos, maritime societies, or lands constantly reshaped by natural forces. So this does sound a bit Southern Seas or Blindfrost, or even Mericidia. I mean, all three could be taken from this. You could speculate all three of them. So they've deliberately done this so that it is as vague as possible, as I said. My money is still on Blindfrost being included, with the winterers, that kind of thing. But also maybe it'll be an expansion consisting of like the Southern Seas as well as Blindfrost in the north. At the same time, like a two-sided, sort of Stormblood expansion. We'll have to wait and see. Yeah. Yet wind and wave shall be our guide is the next line. That's very explicit seafaring expansion sort of language. Maybe ships will be a narrative vehicle, similar to how when we set forward onto Stormblood, with the shipwrecks and things like that, Siren Song Sea. Pace, the pace could be noted around ship-based travel hubs. Obviously, island hopping comes to mind, naval factions, that kind of thing. So yeah, this could be a point to either the Southern Sea Isles, which would match up obviously to recent storyline revelations, which I won't spoil for you. Please do 7.4, it's actually fantastic. Relating to Kryl, that's all I'll say. Or it could be like Mericidia, which honestly might not be the case. I don't think it will be Mericidia. I think they're trying to build up for Mericidia, and before, when Yoshi P's been asked about this, that's kind of like something they're saving for the future. So maybe that'll be the next expansion after 8.0. That's my theory. Blindfrost, though, at this point, I'm pretty much set on that. Unless it's a massive red herring, I really think it could be a Blindfrost, sort of northern frigid oceans, hidden mysteries beyond the Veil of Ice and the ice flows north of the furthest tip of the archipelago where we have the Azim Steppe, basically, that north of that area. But it could be a two-toned expansion, like we say, but I really don't think we're playing with Mericidia in the next expansion. I did a video looking at Blindfrost. If you want to go look at that, that'll be linked in the description. Quite a lot of interesting theories in that one, and we'll see who's right. But what do you take from this? Honestly, there's not much to take from it. Maybe we've hit the nail on the head. At this point, it's anyone's guess, and I cannot wait for April, for obviously FanFest, and for all of us to be proven completely wrong. That's the hope. Anyway, I hope you're having a fantastic holiday season. I hope 2026 brings you much joy and hopefully some fortune in this ever uncomfortable world we live in. And yeah, much love, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.